Hi guys, welcome to the Three Hammers Golf Complex. We're delighted to welcome a very special guest today. We have Nick Pink, the head of England Golf, here with us today at the Three Hammers. We're really interested to see Nick's opinion on what we do for golf development here at the Three Hammers, and especially after our affiliation now with England Golf. We got some good questions to put to Nick, and in true Three Hammers style, we've got a game, our very own ping pong to play with Nick and some very special guests today at the golf complex. Hi there, Nick.
Hi, nice to see you, Rob.
Yeah, nice to see you again. Welcome to the Three Hammers. Great to have you here today. So you're going to have a number of questions today.
Yep.
We've asked the audience. We've got some great questions coming in. We've got lots of fun and games going on today.
Yep.
I'm going to start the ball rolling. What brings you here today?
Well, it's been a while since I've been to Wolverhampton, and my best mate's a Wolverhampton fan, so that's the main reason.
Oh, okay.
No,
so the Wanderers?
Not at all. No, the reason I want, because, Ian won our Lifetime Achievement Award at the England Golf Awards earlier this year.
Did he really?
I don't think there's been any publicity, and certainly Ian's not got any pictures up in his office about it or anything. But most importantly, facilities like yours, the complex that you developed here, the place that is this, is about bringing people into the game of golf. Mm-hmm. And so often we're very critical, as an industry and those looking at the sport of golf. And actually, when you look at the people that are playing here today, all abilities, all ages, on a fabulously well kept short game area, short course area, it's important that places like this are not just recognised, but are accepted as places to play golf and consume golf and do everything that's about it. So why I'm here today, there's always stuff I can learn, there's always stuff we can learn. I've already taken a few points from the sort of half an hour, 45 minutes I've had with Ian. But most importantly, we've got to engage with facilities like yours to make sure that that platform and that player opportunity that you have to play the game and maybe continue at other courses around the country or other courses locally, have that opportunity, or just stay here. It's perfectly all right. You get all the facility here and everything else that sits with.
Well, I think in this day and age now, lots of the questions on speed and time, isn't it? So that here at Three Hammers, that really works great for us, and we're gaining lots of good club links as well, and. So it'd be interesting your thoughts on that, across the UK as well. So
and location-wise, again, just talking to Ian about it, the fact that you're so close to so many other chimney pots, there might not be a lumber in the close area, but within 20 minutes you're close to about 2 million people.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate there with the location.
So no, it works really well.
Well, great. It was great to have you here. We're thrilled to be affiliated as well with England Golf. So should we get started?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
First question is coming from young Cameron. Yeah.
What does England Golf actually do?
Good question. Very good question.
Great.
I ask myself that every day. So, no, essentially what we do, we're the national governing body for golf, amateur golf in England. Our priority, which links to kind of the aims that we set out to achieve, is about trying to get as many people to play the game as possible. Mm-hmm. We really want everybody, and you're kind of a great cross-section, absolutely, of the kind of the general population, so all of you and many more to play the game. But also we look after the elite end, so the very best players that come through all of that system, that start at places like Three Hammers and have the opportunity to play and then get better and stronger, the ability to play and continue to play, we look after the elite end before they turn professional. So we've got England squads for men's, women's, boys and girls, and they compete at the very top end against France, and we've got a French woman here somewhere, there she is, she's in the end there, and many others. But we also look after the game, so in terms of the rules that are set by the RNA, we deliver those, and we're kind of responsible for those. Handicapping, so has anyone got a handicap here? Got a few, yeah, perfect. So that system is something we're responsible for in England, and we make sure that's running in partnership with the clubs and the counties and the national bodies that we're kind of responsible for, and a few other things that are probably a little bit more boring that I won't mention too. Yeah. So essentially,
so quite a lot.
Quite a lot, yeah.
Quite a lot. Thanks, Nick. We've also got a question from Mi Ling from the ladies' side. Mi Ling.
What does England Golf does to promote the
ladies golf and that sort of thing? Yeah, so it's interesting. So when I started almost 4 years ago, the stats that really concerned me were the number of juniors and the number of women playing golf. So if you look at membership of golf clubs, 14% of members of golf clubs are female, and that was something we've deliberately made. We didn't want to be cheesy and just have one priority about let's get more women into golf or a female. What we want to do was have a plan that runs right across golf, actually, and therefore right across England Golf. And so therefore what we've done, we work on initiatives like Girls Golf Rocks, and I think a couple here were part of Girls Golf Rocks a couple of years ago, and that's really important because that's a focused, dedicated initiative. It's now in 26 counties across the country, 116 golf clubs, almost 2,000 girls involved in the programme. So there are some things you've got to target and drive initiative through, and you've got to work through the structure that we've got, which is a great structure actually. We've got clubs all around here. I don't know how many clubs, Rob, are in, say, a 10-minute radius of 300.
Yeah, quite a few, yeah.
But I imagine maybe 5 or 6, and that's pretty representative across the country. But sometimes you've got to be a bit more direct and a bit more focused and targeted. So that's kind of at the grassroots end. I mentioned earlier about the elite players. So we've got elite girls squads, elite women's squads, and senior women's squads as well. That's really important in terms of, you know, the standards and the aspiration to want to go on and play. But even more importantly, I think, is what we do nationally to represent the sport and the game. So 33% of our board is female. That's good. You know, it could be better. I hope one day it will be better. Our senior management team is 50-50. Our organisation is 50-50 gender split. And I think if all golfing bodies, all golfing organisations started to move towards that, and it's not just about tokenistic positions on boards or in senior management teams. It's about the right skills, it's about the right people, but that breadth of diversity, that breadth of engagement, my goodness, does that change the sport. And you just look at the session we've just had here. There was no showboating apart from the pro. You know, there's no kind of other things. It was a relaxed, fun environment, and that's the sort of thing that we need to create in golf clubs, golf facilities up and down the country. And we've clearly got here, excuse me, Rob, happening here at Three Hammers.
I've got a good question here. I think we'll follow that one nicely from Leslie, which is talks about the schools programs.
Yes, it's currently not on the school's curriculum.
No, it isn't.
I did the training like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
but it's not in schools.
No, and it's a great question, Leslie, and I think, you know, it's something we often, you know, we do discuss. There is something that, you know, we work very closely with the Golf Foundation, and we were just talking with Rob, and Try Golf is a Golf Foundation initiative. You know, we work very hard with those guys locally, and Mark's here, who's our local club support officer in the area as well, and their regional team, local team do that. But you're right, it needs kind of policy shift, policy change. Broader than just golf. I think there's a huge issue in terms of, and you read the press, you read the media, it's there, physical activity and junior opportunities to take part in sport and physical activity broadly has changed. I used to work many years ago for an organisation called the Youth Sport Trust that set up school sport partnerships. I think we used to run, when being involved in some form of activity, and our national conference used to be up the road at Telford at the International Centre. And I think actually it needs a bit of coordination. It's not just a golf thing. It's not just an England golf priority. It is a priority. It's important. But I think it's broader. It's sport, and it's sport influencing what can be changed at that physical activity, physical literacy age. Because you're absolutely right. If the exposure for golf is not there, and people aren't aware of their idols, their inspiration moments. You know, how do people access the sport? How do people find out about it? I don't believe just putting sport or golf on terrestrial TV is the answer.
No.
But my goodness, would it help? And would it make a difference? And I actually think there potentially are other formats that potentially might work better, or even shorter clips or shorter. And again, you know, sorry to use the women's football example from earlier. You look at the bounce and the effect that's had for women's football, not just with the World Cup, but with the Premiership that they've got and other things now in place. I think there are some models that we could really learn from, but starting it at school level and starting to influence it, I think, is absolutely key.
Thanks, Leslie. A real good question there. We've got another question from a junior. We've got young Riker, who came through the Girls Golf Rocks initiative a couple of years ago. Riker and her younger sister Ruchi. Really enjoying the game, embracing it, and some super talents here. So, Riker, what's your question to
What is
Nick?
your favourite sport?
Oh, that's a good question.
You've got to say golf,
So
surely.
it is absolutely golf. There is nothing else but golf. Do you know, it probably is golf. I've played it since I was about, maybe your age or your sister's age, Riker. And it's something that I hope will live with me for the rest of my life. And I think that's the beauty of the game of golf. I love all sport, I generally do. When I was younger, I was playing a bit of cricket, a bit of hockey, a bit of football, all of those sorts of sports and activities. but the beauty of golf is it stays with you for life. And I think what we have to all do, because it's not just the responsibility of England Golf or Three Hammers, but it's also your responsibility. We've got to be talking about it. We've got to talk about the benefits and the fun that we have, and the fun you have today with your friends, but also the wider group that are here. Because that message, or not friends, competitors. Yeah. Well, aesthetic grannies. Yeah. These aren't my words; these are somebody else's. But you're right, but we've got to talk. We've got to talk about it, and it's all of our responsibilities. I talk often about the fact that we're all sort of temporary custodians, and we are. We will be playing the sport or involved in the sport for a period of time. So we've got to maximise that time, and we've got to make the biggest amount of impact that we possibly can. But yeah, great. I love all sports, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, golf's probably there. What about you? What's your favourite sport?
My favourite sport is golf.
Good,
Yeah.
good answer.
Good. You're about to be exited from the building. If that was
Now I know young Ruchi's got a question. This is Ruchi's own question, which she asked me earlier. So she's great.
I've only been playing for 2 years. Could you give me one tip?
One tip to carry on playing, or
On golf.
one tip on golf. My big tip is never take it too seriously. Have loads of fun.
That's true.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
And keep doing that. How old are you?
7.
7. So my son's coming up for 7. He's going to be 7 in October. What's the best bit that you enjoy about golf?
I like driving because I always hit good shots with my driver.
And is that the best club that you've got, do you think? And what club have you got there?
A wedge.
A wedge. And how well do you hit your wedge?
A little good.
A little bit at the driver is the one. Yeah, just keep having fun. That's the best tip I can give you.
I started golf in the United States, and they have a bigger obstacle they define to people picking up golf is time. So the USGA has created a program, 9 holes program, 9 holes handicap on a 9 holes competition tour.
Yep.
And I would like to know if it's in the plans here.
So it's here, so you can do it. So you can get a handicap over 9 holes. In fact, you can do it 6 holes as well. And the big changes, so the World Handicap System is changing, and actually the US have adopted the sort of averaging system and the handicap system that's almost pretty much going to be adopted next year already. So it's a lot of what the US has developed and learned, and it's going to be a really important change. So you're absolutely right, Rob. And therefore, I think opening the system up as much as possible. For those not traditionalists, those that we all love the sport, and we're all intrinsically connected to it. So it's important we keep those traditional values, if you like, running and going. But we've got to accept that the people are changing, and the society around people is changing. So we have to accept that. Therefore, we have to do things differently. And people won't like that, and I'm sure we can all probably think of the type of people that might not like that. But unless we embrace change and we accept that that's coming, we won't be looking after the future generations of the sport. And they're all here, they're coming to facilities like this one. And the lady there said the uniqueness of here. It's important that we embrace that change. We accept that that's coming. And whether you get a handicap over a few holes or 18 holes, whether you play 3 times a week or 6 times a year, we should have a system that is fully inclusive, fully embracing of everybody of any golfing ability, of any golfing age.
Right then, Nick, we've got some questions which have come in from our social media followers, so from Facebook and Twitter. First, we've got a great question here from Julie Craggs from Twitter, and Julie asks, as a founder and events organizer of She Can Golf, we as beginners and returners groups would like to very much meet up and play with other getting to golf girls and women's groups. Is this something England Golf would back?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Great question.
Very good question, and we're happy to help in any way we can. So if you want to get in touch with us, we can post something out on social and see if there are other groups that are potentially interested. Equally, depending where she's based, we can contact other local clubs that we know that run girls golf rock sessions, are involved or have been involved in other girls and women initiatives, but we're very happy to kind of get involved. Mark I mentioned before, our local club support officer probably knows the facilities and clubs locally that be able to kind of get involved in that.
I know certainly around this area, obviously we run lots of getting to golf sessions ourselves here on site at the Three Hammers, but lots of clubs are following suit, delivering their own getting to golf sessions. So it'd be, at the end of the day, we want a pathway for our golfers. So it'd be great to.
I think you're right, and equally, I think sometimes we've been talking a little bit about this today, losing that sort of protectionism a little bit and kind of opening up. Ultimately, we want more people to play the game. Doesn't matter where they're playing.
Absolutely.
But absolutely, there are facilities like yours and others that are doing exactly the same. So no,
Cool. Great
idea.
question. Thank you, Julie Craigs. We'll be in touch. Also, we've got Graham Cummings from Twitter. Golf is good for well-being. Very good for well-being. What do England Golf offer to help golfers with physical and especially the mental side of the game?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's an interesting one. You know, what do we offer? Well, I guess what we're trying to do is provide, you know, information and there for people to access the sport and be able to see what's going on. We run initiatives inevitably, and that's the right thing to do. So we were talking earlier about a GP on referrals sort of program, which is
something
aimed
quite
and
close to
targeted.
ourselves here at the academy as well. Yeah,
And I know you've been doing the prostate cancer, and you do
Yeah.
other things as well here, which is all important. But equally, I think there's lots of sort of local charities, local events that are run, and I think it's connecting into those. We've done work in the past with a number of these different bodies, Dementia UK, whole range of others that we've connected in. Very often it's kind of quite locally driven. So yes, we promote it nationally, we shout about it nationally, but I don't think there's anything we would necessarily sort of push outwardly around, except just telling the good news and where
I think a lot of it is up to the clubs and the facilities to actually get out there and contact the local medical practice and that, because we've certainly something here at the complex with which is big for us. Obviously, we had the sort of huge success of the Prostate Cancer Day. But we've been in contact with a number of our local medical practices and trying to encourage people to walk with a purpose, I think is...
without a doubt. No, all of that stuff.
Great.
All good stuff.
Excellent. And finally, a question from a dear friend of the complex, Kevin Griffin from Facebook. He could have been here today, but I think he prefers to ask it on Facebook. This is we had a number of these questions actually. How can we improve the speed of the game?
Well,
It's all about speed now, isn't it?
exactly. Well, there's speed golf, where you're actually running around the course, and they have national speed golf competitions. That might not be appropriate for everyone.
That's extreme. We like that.
But you know what? I think a lot of the rules changes are helping to this. I think they could go a lot
Definitely.
further, and I think they will in the next iteration. But it's an important step. You know, ready golf and keeping the flag. You know, little things actually amazing the difference that it does make to a round of golf. But invariably, it's very hot at the moment, isn't it? And the pros are talking about a few of the other pros that are perhaps taking a little bit longer than people would like. It's not good for the game to see 5.5 hour rounds of golf being played, and you don't need to. You know, you can get round quite quickly if you wanted to. So I think shorter formats help. I think the ability to turn up, to like facilities like yours here, that does help. But I think when you are playing, just keep moving, keep when you're ready to play.
Great. Well, thank you, Nick. Thanks for the questions. Any more? Feel free to post. It's been great to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
And let's all do all we possibly can to grow this game further. So thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, Rob.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Thank you.